there everyone, it's Kathy and you're back here on my YouTube channel and in my craft room, and today we're going to be looking at this new bundle. It's brand new in our mini catalog, and this one is called Lighting the Way, and it's on page 18 if you have a catalog. If you don't have a catalog, you can always view the catalog on my online on my website. If you go to where it says shop with me, you can go there, and if you scroll down about midway the page, you'll have the annual catalog, the new mini catalog, and the celebration catalog, so you can view all of those there. But if you are interested in ordering from me and you do not have a catalog, please let me know and I'll make sure that I get you one out. Just make sure you email me with your name and address, your mailing address, and along with which catalogs you like. If you want all three, if you just want one or two, just whatever you want, let me know. Getting back to this particular set, this set is absolutely beautiful, and it comes in a bundle. So let me show you the bundle. It is the stamp set, and you've got some beautiful little fireflies or lightning bugs. Here in the South we call them lightning bugs. I know some people in the West or the North, they call them fireflies, but for me they've always been lightning bugs. And when I was a child, I was fascinated with them because I love to catch them, and I would usually get an old mayonnaise jar and poke some holes in the lid, and I'd catch them and put them in there and just watch them light up, and always let them go because I didn't want to kill them. So, but that was one of my favorite things to do in the evening when night would fall and the little lightning bugs would come out, and they were just so much fun. It was one of the bugs I was not afraid of. So, but anyway, when I saw this Lighting the Way, I thought this was such a cute set, and the dies have more than the stamp set, because look at that lantern. The lantern is gorgeous. They have a big firefly that you can build, and I did build one because I wanted to show you just what it looked like, and this is what it looks like. And I thought that was so pretty. If I put it against a piece of black paper, and my wings have come off. I don't know how that happened. Oh, I know why. I gotta glue that in. I just set them in there to see if that's where I wanted them, and I didn't glue them down. But I'll get them glued down and you'll better be able to see. But this is what that looks like. Isn't it pretty? And I used the soft suede, I used a mango melody, and I used vellum for that second set of wings, and I think that is so pretty. And this is just a set I think you'll use a lot. It's got some beautiful sentiments. I love the little trail of light that's where it shows where you could put the lightning bug and have the trail going behind him. You have some of these little circles where you could stamp the butterfly onto the circle of yellow. That's an option. I use this to make the fire in my lantern. If you look at my samples here, see how I put the little light in the lantern using this larger circle. So there's just so many different ways that you could do this. But the sentiments: thanks for lighting the way, follow your dreams, you are all kinds of wonderful. These sentiments are so nice, and the dies are beautiful. And let's go ahead and get along with what I have for y'all today. These were two samples that I played with. The one that I'm doing today is going to be very similar to this one, but I did change it up a bit, and I decided I wanted to try one with doing a colored background. So what I did is I used a Gorgeous Grape matte. I got this mounted on black, and basic black, and then I put a matte of Gorgeous Grape around. Then I took a piece of white cardstock and I used my blending brushes, and I started with some darker blues, and I came up with a lighter blue, and I just kind of gradually, actually I think I started from the top with my yellows, pinks, coral, a little bit of green, and then into the blue. And I love the way this one turned out as well. So many different ways that you can do this, and we're going to do one today that's going to be very similar to this, but yet a little bit different. And let me show you what I have. I've decided to do a white card base, and this is half a sheet of cardstock, so it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to do a landscape card, so it's going to be like this. And we are going to, let's see, from a mat, I have a black mat because I really want that black mat. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And I went ahead and did some sprigs, and I did one side of them and I put them together. What I did is I'm going to show you because I saved the other 3. I cut 2 of each one of these. I stamped them and then I used my dies to cut them out. And what I did here is I grouped them together like I wanted them. So basically I took this one and I put this one underneath like that, and then I kind of put this one on top like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you exactly how I put this together. I'm going to hold it like this, and I'm going to take some glue, and I'm just going to come in here and glue this together there, and then I'm going to raise this one up and put glue right there. Then I'm just going to hold that together with my fingers and let it adhere. Then that's going to go down on our card about, I think I'm going to put this one over here, about like that, and this one here. So we're going to have some greenery on both sides of our lantern. Now I took a piece of our copper metallic, see how pretty that is, and I cut out that lantern. And when you cut it out, you have all these little middle pieces that pop out too. This little piece I actually measured so you would know, and it's 2 1/4 by 4 is the size piece that you would need for the lantern. And I'll have all these measurements in my tutorial, so don't worry about missing out on any of the measurements. Everything will be there. I want a little greenery down at the bottom, and I think for that I'm just going to grab a piece of garden green, and let me grab a garden green out of my scraps. I need a bigger piece than that. I think this will work because we just want a strip that's going to go across the bottom, and I use garden green because I use garden green on my greenery, and I think that will just kind of play together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my trimmer, and I am going to cut a 1/2 inch strip off of this, and I'm using the right side of my trimmer because I can line that up on a 1/2 inch, and it gives me a place over here to hold my paper. Makes it very secure in cutting. Anytime I'm cutting a small strip, I will do that. Now I want to make sure that this is 5 1/4, so I'm going to line it up here at 5 1/4, and I'm going to give it just a little trim. I don't want it to hang over onto my white. I just want it to be on the dark. So I think that is going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down first. So let's go ahead and move our white card base out of the way. Sorry about that. I have a little bit of a tickling cough today for some reason. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue again, and I'm using the liquid glue because it does give me a little bit of wiggle room. And I am just going to put a little glue along there. It doesn't take a lot. And I'm going to glue this down something like that. Give it a good press. I'm looking to make sure that I'm even, and I am. That looks really good. So now I'm going to decide whether I want my lantern down first or my greenery. And I think I want my greenery down first. So I'm going to take my greenery, and I want to raise this up because I want this to go up underneath there just a little bit so it looks like it's growing out of the ground. But I do need to come over just a hair. About like that, because you don't want it off of the edge of your card. Now I'm going to take some glue, and I'm going to go under here and just put a little glue like that, and just set those back pieces down into the glue. I want a little lift on the card because that dimension, and you'll see what I'm talking about, that dimension I think just adds so much to your card. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to lift, and I want to get this one as close to the edge as I possibly can. So I think should have done this before I glued this down, but hey, hindsight. Let's see if we can snip that off just a little bit to give us a little bit more stability in putting that under there. There we go. And that one's going to go right there. And again, I'm going to put glue underneath here, just willy-nilly, and just let that sit down in it. I don't want to glue it all, I just want to get it tacked down enough so it will hold. And I may need to do a little bit more right here. Maybe a little bit right there. There we go. Now we can take this, and I want to set this up on dimensions. So I'm going to probably I'm going to stack my dimensionals, and I'm going to show you, never feel like that you have to have dimensionals that are just one dimension. You can put them on here and stack them, and to give your piece the height that you want. So I'm going to be very careful to make sure I'm getting my edges right there to the edge. I'm going to take that backer off, just like that. And I'm going to put another one on top, and I'm going to match my corners so that they're matched on there perfectly, like that. And another one right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here. And everywhere that I put one of those, I'm going to make sure that I double it up so that I get a little bit higher dimension. I want this lantern to look like it's sitting, you know, well in front of that greenery that's in the background. And I'm going to put one more right here. I think this will be sufficient to hold our lantern. And I think this is going to be very, very pretty. Like I said, this is very similar to the other one, but I did change up a few things. And you know, anytime you make a card, when you go back and remake it, you might find yourself wanting to make a few changes. And that's what happened with this. Now look at that. See, look at that dimension. It looks like the greenery is back there, but it's not interfering into the card. I love the way this looks. I love the way it turned out. So I've got fireflies. Look at all these cute little fireflies. Now I stamped these in green and black, and then I die cut them. But as you can see, the die cut leaves a place around it. So I took my blending brush and I used my yellow ink. I think I used So Saffron, and I just went over each one of them using my little blending brush. So they look like they've got a little glow to them. And fireflies should be glowing. So I am going to take my little mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put one on the back of each one of my little lightning bugs, fireflies, whatever you want to call them. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think almost every child here in the South always played with lightning bugs when they were little, and you'll have to let me know in the comments if y'all called them lightning bugs or if you called them fireflies. And did y'all play with them in the evening? Did y'all catch them and play with them? I never was one that liked to catch June bugs. They were too big, and they just, I was scared of them. I don't like bugs. Bugs seem to love me, but I don't love bugs. So now we've got dimensionals on these. I'm going to put this one right there. And this one, the backer had already come off that one. That's the reason I didn't have to peel it. I'm going to put this one up here. Let's maybe right there. And he's flying down toward the light. Let's get one or two that's actually on our lantern, because you know they go toward any type of bug will go toward the light. So let's put a couple more. I want one up here, kind of flying away. And I did, let's see, I did 1, 2, 3 little ones and 3 big ones. And of course you can put as many or as little on yours as you like. Totally up to you. I always say it's your card, make it yours. you know, do you. So I'm going to put that one right there. Let me get these out of my way so they're not sticking to something I don't want them to. Now we have our big one, and I'm really kind of indecisive on whether I want to put him on the outside. I might put this on the inside. I really think I would like this on the inside, so I'm going to save that one. The one thing I do need to do is put a little glue up under here so I can glue down those wings. See right there, I didn't glue it down. So I wasn't sure where I wanted those wings to fall until after. And I also used a little bit of that So Saffron on these wings. Oops, goes this way. Oh, did it wrong. Yeah, like that. I wasn't sure if I wanted those wings, you know, which way I wanted them. And I wanted just a little bit of color on there, but not much. And you can see they have a faint amount of color. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna save that and we're gonna put that on the inside. So now this is all ready. We do need a sentiment. So I need to decide, I think I'm just gonna use a piece of white, and I am going to look at the stamp set and decide if I want to use one of the sentiments out of here. Follow your dreams. That would be cute. Let's see how big that's going to be and if we can get it to fit on here. So follow your dreams. You know, if I hadn't have put this one here, let's move him. Put him right there. I'm going to do a circle up here and stamp that in it like it's the moon. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that or not. We'll see. I'm going to try punching a 1 inch. No, 1 inch isn't going to work. I think 2 inches is going to be too big. So maybe I don't want to do anything here. Let's put him back up there where I had him, because I really liked him up there. It kind of evened out my card, you know, somewhat. This right here does need a little glue right there. A little bit too much movement. I think that's good. Now I may even go and find another sentiment. I want something on the front. So let's see if we can find just a simple little thank you. Let me look in my stamps and find a small thank you, and I'll be right back. Alright, I pulled out my go-to greetings, and the reason I did this has 4 greetings in it. Happy birthday, thinking of you, just a note, and thank you. And it has it in 3 different fonts and 3 different sizes, which works so great for so many cards. So this is definitely a stamp set to have. There's also a hello. So what if we did, you know, I'm always needing thank you cards. What if I did a thank you right there? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a thank you card. Let's see if that'll fit. No, we're going to go this way. I'm going to stamp that, and I think I'm going to stamp it in black ink because I really want it to kind of pop. I don't think that we can get Follow Your Dreams there. It'd be nice if we could do them both. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and try it. We'll stamp them both and see. And if we can use them both, we will. And if we can't, then that's okay too. I'll pick up my thank you and my Follow Your Dreams. And I'm going to pull out my Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I just re-inked this because I noticed I wasn't getting good images anymore. And it dawned on me, you probably need to re-ink that. You hadn't re-inked it in forever. I did, and watch this. Look how dark and beautiful that is. Focus, focus, there we go. It makes the world of difference. So if your Memento is looking a little pale, you might want to get a re-inker and re-ink it. Very good. And re-inking your ink pads is such an easy thing to do. So I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to just follow around. I love to do this a lot of times on stamp sets, just kind of bubble cut around your sentiment. And when I have an image like this, I just kind of do a little wiggle in and out at the bottom and then come back up around that S. And then we're just going to come right on up and around and round that off. So I'm going to just round that off just a little bit, and that can easily go right there, and it's not going to distract from the, you know what, we could actually just do this. You know, this was the one I wanted. I'm going to save my thank you for later. I didn't realize how well that was going to fit there until I did it, and I really like that, so I'm going to go with that. But I'm going to trim this out just a little closer, like so. And I think that's a little too much. All right, let's try this again. I didn't like the way that one turned out either, so let's try it again. I got plenty of white scraps, and I'm sure y'all do too. This does happen when you re-ink your ink pad. The first few times you use it, you might get a little bit of bleed. If that happens, just clean your stamp and come back in and do it again. I like that last one the best, so we'll use it. All right, let's try this again. So I'm just going to cut this off. And let's cut down. I might even do this a little bit different. And straight over. Nope, I still like the cutting around. So I'm going to continue as I did the first time. Just like that. And down like that. And then we're just going to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way across that bottom and up, and that's going to go right there. I like that. So now I'm going to put a dimensional on it. This piece is flat, so I want a little bit of a lift on this, and I think one of our regular dimensionals will be plenty to hold this in place. So I'm going to set that right there. Follow your dreams. Now we're ready to mount this to our white card base. And when you put this on the white, look how everything pops. It really does make a difference, your matte and your card base. So that's the reason I always matte my cards. I do it for a couple of reasons. I love the elegance that mattes bring to your cards, but I love the way a card feels if it's a nice substantial card. And you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you get cards that feel flimsy. When you double matte your cards, or even, you know, when I say double matte, I matte, and then sometimes I'll put a matte on top of that. And I always matte the inside as well. And I just love the look. I think it looks so pretty. So get that down about like that. And I'm going to give it a good press. Don't want to rub that outside, but I am going to rub it from this side, just to make sure that everything is adhered. And this card, it looks like it came together really quick. This one does take a little bit of time when you're stamping all these pieces and die cutting, but for the sake of the video, I went ahead and did it ahead of time. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to put a mat on the inside, and I think I want to do a black mat. So I have a piece, well, actually I've got a piece over here. We're going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. So 5 1/4 length. And 4 inches this way. And it looks like it's pretty much there. Just a smidgen. Just a little smidge off of that. So we're going to put this down inside, and then we're going to do a, oh, I didn't get that quite right, did I? 4, I thought I did that at 4, maybe I did 4 1/4. I must have, because it was not, there we go. This will do it. And then we can use a piece of white to mat over this, and let's see, that will work. So let's do 3 3 3/4 on this one by 5. Yeah, 3 3/4. By 5. And anytime I'm matting, I usually go down 1/4 of an inch, so you can just move it down 1/4, and that will give you perfect matting every time with that nice little 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And the reason 1/4 of an inch works is because you have an 1/8 and an 1/8, which makes 1/4, an 1/8 and an 1/8, which makes 1/4. So it took me a while to fully understand that when I started paper crafting. I was like, wait a minute, how is it possible that you can cut it 1/4 of an inch and then you're going to have an 1/8 around? But after a little while of doing that, I realized that that works. Okay, so for the inside, I'm going to put "Thanks for Lighting the Way," and then we can put this little firefly in here. We might even do a little bit of shading behind him. I think that would be really cute. And this way I can show you how I did this. If I can find my So Saffron, here it is. I knew it was on my desk because I had used it. Let's move these stamp blocks over out of our way. And I think I want this to be right here. And let's go ahead and pull our stamp. Thanks for lighting the way. And we'll put that right there in black ink. And then this way I can do this. So I'll tell you what, let's do our little corner first. I'm going to bring a little piece of very used grid paper right here. And I'm going to tap off over here, and then I just want a little warmth right there in that corner. Just a little bit of warmth right there under my firefly. Maybe a little bit more up there. And that looks good. That's perfect. So now I'm going to grab another stamp block, and I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to ink this up, and I'm just going to take my ink to the stamp this time. I think that looks good. And right in the center, maybe up just a little bit so you have room to sign. Isn't that beautiful? So now I'm going to put some glue. You could put this down with glue dots, but I'm just going to do some regular glue. And I'm just going to put glue on the body. This Mango Melody, I think it was Mango Melody cardstock. And I just used a piece of scrap out of my scrap bin. And now we're ready to melt this piece on there, or frame it, however whatever your description is. We're gonna glue this down. I was getting ready to put the pin in my glue, and I'm definitely not done. So I'm just going to put a good amount of glue across the back of my card, or my mat, and then lay this in place. Give it a press. We can move this out of our way and open our card, and all of this is going to fit inside beautifully. So I am going to take some glue. It looks like I'm using a ton of glue, but this is a very fine tip, and I'm not. I'm using the bare minimum. I don't want to get that in that ink. Now, I know I've done that before, and it's so frustrating to put a lot of work in a card and then ruin it because you get ink on it where you don't want it. But when that happens, you know what? I just pull out some gems or a bow. This card doesn't call for any gems or bows or anything. It is gorgeous just the way it is. I love this set. I think it's beautiful. The sentiments are beautiful. And just look at that. Thanks for lighting the way. I love this. This would be great to give your pastor if you wanted to show appreciation for maybe a sermon, because I think our pastors do help light the way with the word. And this is just such a cute card. If you wanted to give this to a friend that maybe had been inspirational to you, this would be great. Great for a teacher. So many people that this card would definitely be a fit for. I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial on this beautiful bundle called Lighting the Way. Let me bring that over and show you one more time. Oh, wrong one. The dies are under here somewhere. There's the stamps, and here's the dies. And of course, you can see I have yellow stickers on both of these, which means this is in the mini catalog. And if you notice, my go-to greetings that I didn't use has a blue sticker. That indicates that it's in the annual catalog. So I did this just recently. It helps me, and hopefully it will help y'all when you're seeing me use something. The color coding. I may even go and put the color coding on my blog. Look at the difference in matting that in white and not using a matte. I like both of them, but I think this one pops more than this one. And then of course here's the one that I did where I did just a little bit of color blending on my white. And I like all of them. I think they're all beautiful in their own way. You'll have to let me know which one you like, and if you could pick. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Let's see if I can get this out of my way. Some of this other stuff that's kind of blocking the path. These will, all the dimensions and everything will be on the blog for this one. The other ones is very similar. The measurements are much the same, so you can pretty much figure that out. And if you do like one of the other ones and you need the dimensions that I use, by all means shoot me an email and I can send that over to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. As I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Thanks so much again for tuning in, for being a supporter of my YouTube channel and my Stampin' Up! Business. If you are not currently working with a demonstrator, I would absolutely love the opportunity to earn your business and take care of you and all your stamping needs. Reach out to me, even in the smallest way. I'm here for you. Love you guys so much, and until next time, bye-bye.